resource for industry news and straight up fun. I'm your host, Matt Wahlgren. I'm filling in for Carolyn, who is off having a magical time somewhere out there. Any guesses where? Put it in the comment box. We thank you for joining us today. If you love what we do, be sure to like, subscribe, and add that little alert on there so you'll get notifications when we have our next show released. So we got a big show today. We're going to have a little team talk and talk about some industry news with Wanda and Virginia Ann. Then we're going to go over to Las Vegas and speak with Joel and Dustin about what's new and hot over there. Then we're going to talk about some LGBTQ plus suppliers that you may never have heard of. And then finally, one of my favorite segments, we're going to wrap up with Ashley, who has got a KHM Today at Home segment that is going to be something pretty festive for 4th of July. So we'll go ahead and bring Wanda and Virginia Ann on. But before we do, I just want to mention I went on my first Virgin Voyage cruise last week. I know some of you have been before. Wow, they've got a really interesting product. I was a little bit nervous because it was my first time cruising alone. I've been traveling alone on land several times, but a cruise is a totally different environment. But I have to say, it was such a great vibe. And I made instant friends the first night. So if you're ever thinking of cruising and you're a little bit nervous because maybe you want to go alone, check them out. I think you'll have a good time. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring Wanda and Virginia Ann on. We're going to talk about some breaking news today in the last day or so, and just kind of get your thoughts. Welcome, Wanda and VA.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, and I saw Nicole's message about being a new travel agent. So I definitely want to say welcome. We're excited to have you as well.
Awesome.
And I'm excited about being with you two. Seems like it's been forever since
it has
been.
Yeah. Just the three of us.
Exactly.
On the show. So the first one I want to talk about, I found very interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts. So just yesterday, I read an article about how Expedia TAAP, that's their affiliate program for travel agents, just expanded worldwide. So they're going to be in dozens of different countries, all over different continents. Very interesting, right? Because when they first came out, everybody thought of them as the travel agent killer, right?
Yeah.
But now there's been this big embrace. They're supporting ASTA, of course, the American Society of Travel Advisors now. They're one of their top tier members. What do you think about all this? How things have changed over the last 20 years?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, you are. Well, I will say it has been a big change, and I've watched it happen. I still have some of the same cautiousness about booking with Expedia. There are some things that I book and some things that I do not book. Expanding worldwide, I don't know if that's going to change what I will book with Expedia, but I know we book a lot of Expedia.
Yeah,
as an agency. Yeah, as an agency, we book a lot of Expedia.
When their hotel program in particular, that's the one that I think a lot of us focus on. It's very easy, self-serve. I've never had to call anybody with any hotel things. I can handle it all myself within the system. So that's a way for some agents, and particularly agents who are kind of starting out, feeling their ground. It's a great place to start because they oftentimes, when you're new and you're not expressing your value to your clients as much, you end up going down that let's beat the price thing. And so kind of Expedia is there in your back pocket so you don't lose the sale. You can demonstrate your service and then maybe upgrade your clients.
Yeah.
And it's funny because hotels are the one thing that I do not book in Expedia.
Interesting. What do you book?
I book rental cars and attractions.
and attractions. Okay.
Yeah,
I've done rental
attractions.
cars too. Rental cars is good.
I stay away from transfers though.
Yes.
Don't use Expedia for transfer. That's me personally. Other people may have had good experience with it, but I have not.
Yeah. Well, one thing about that, VA, is that with all of the different areas of service provided in the travel industry right now, with all we know has been going on with flights and everything else, with the shortage of staff, et cetera, everybody's having a challenge. And I think all categories, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a transfer, whether it's, a plane, whatever, everybody's having some challenges. So I completely agree, because I've even seen more and more communication about other transportation services organizations that I thought did a great job, that of late people are really, kind of on the bandwagon saying, oh no, we're not going to do that again, so forth and so on. So, I haven't used Expedia a lot on a business perspective. I know that I think it was the Crystal Cruise that we had some years back before COVID. There was a young lady, the BDM at that time came, and she did an awesome presentation on their value and the different things that you could do with them. And so I did take some great tips from her. And then recently at one of our boot camps, I think we had one of the key individuals that came to the trade show, and I made conversation with that individual and learned quite a bit of the enhancements and things that they've done to service the travel agent environment as well. Yes. And so I'm definitely kind of like what you said, Matt, having things in the back pocket. They're kind of in my back pocket. They are somebody I go to in the event that I've got a good client that has said, well, I found it here for this, kind of thing. Then in that particular situation, I might go and check out what's there. But, I will say that just in the thought process of business in general, I look at the COVID impact, the pandemic impact, very much like the financial crisis of 2008. And I remember, as my background is in banking, the consolidation that took place after that financial downturn. Mm-hmm. You had all these different banks, and then after that, it was like consolidation. And I've even noticed lately some emails that have come through. I think I saw one yesterday from I'll say Hard Rock, but I know that's not the company. AIC, I think it is, or something of that nature. But they're even expanding their wings into more of a DMC, where they're offering transfers and all this other stuff across the board. So I say that simply to say that I think that this, for the travel industry, in my opinion, is very much similar to the financial crisis of consolidation. I think we're seeing that across the board, that things are starting to be consolidated, and therefore kind of creating a one path avenue, if you would, in certain ways to be able to get things serviced, because everybody's struggling so hard with staffing and being able to really provide the level of services that they have. So I think that it's par for the course of where it's going, regardless of whether it's Expedia TAAP or anybody else. I think the consolidation piece and bringing all these things under one umbrella is just a part of the result of what we've gone through over the last several years.
Yeah, isn't it funny how we have cycles?
Yes.
And if you're in it long enough, you just watch it.
Correct. We used to talk about that all the time in the financial world when we deal with our investment agents. We would talk about the various cycles that you could kind of really map out on a chart to say, this is going to happen again. So if it happened now, just wait. It's coming back.
Yeah, it will.
But I hope COVID never comes back. No more pandemic.
And there's one thing I'll say about Expedia. It's a good way for a quick and dirty booking. Yeah. If it's just something that needs to be booked fast. For example, I had a client call me today, missed his connection in London. He's all, Matt, I need a hotel. Can you find me a hotel? It took me about 15 minutes. I got him a hotel for the night and got a nice little extra commission for it. So it's a great tool for just a quick and dirty booking if you need it. Very simple to use, and which leads me to my next topic of flight issues, right? So, and we've been talking about it for several weeks, but I think we're going to have to keep talking about it for a little while now. But summer's coming up. Yeah. We thought that some of this, airline stuff, they'd figure it out by now. There wouldn't be these issues. No, it looks like we're just ramping up, and that the issues are going to increase with the demand of summer travel. So, Virginia, what are your thoughts on this whole situation that we're going through right now.
Well, I agree with you, Matt. I think we're just really getting into it. I'm not so sure that it's going to get better before it gets worse. I just have to tell people, allow plenty of time, get to the airport earlier than you might normally. I know we all three have been traveling, and the lines at the airport, just you walk in and you go, oh my gosh,
Exactly.
where did all these people come from? And because of the shortages, there's not people behind the counter or enough people behind the counter to help them. So it's taking longer, and that means it's going to take you longer to get processed. It's taking longer through security. If you have pre-check, that helps. But if you don't, allow plenty of time. And I also just have to say, pack your patience, because I know I flew this past week, and we were lucky. None of our flights were canceled. We were just late. But there was one poor lady on the plane traveling alone with 4 children. And she had been 2 days trying to get where she was going. And she was flying standby when she got on our plane. And it was so nice to see people move their seat to let her sit together with her children, because they were the last people on the plane. And this is Southwest. So, you know, it's whatever middle seats available.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just really have to tell my people, pack your patience and have some grace, because it's chaotic.
There's some ways to plan ahead for it to mitigate some of the issues. There's some things you can do at the airport. I remember I had a situation, this was way before all this, a few years ago, and I was going to make my flight in time. Well, there was a clear station at the airport, and they sign you up like that. And I said, I'm doing the clear, because they give you a 30-day free trial. I think they're still offering those 30-day free trials. So if you're in a pinch and you got the airport without enough time and you're seeing this long line, find that clear station, sign up for that 30-day trial, and get through all those lines. A couple other things we've seen. So there's this, sort of message going around social media that I think a lot of us have seen. Friends are sharing it. It's from a flight attendant giving you advice, but there's some really good points that she makes in there. And one of them is, don't book the last flight of the night, because you've got no recourse. Book it earlier in the day. Doesn't necessarily have to be the first flight, but book it early in the day so you have options for later on. One thing I'm telling all my clients is, if at all possible, book that nonstop flight. It's not possible for everybody. Oftentimes you pay a little more for doing the nonstop, but it's going to be worth it, especially on your way over. If you're on your way over, you don't want to be disrupted. You're going to miss a day at the hotel or miss your cruise or whatever. On the way back, I'm not as worried. Okay, whatever happens, it'll be fine. But on the way there, you don't want to throw off your whole vacation schedule. What do you think, Wanda?
I agree. Everything you just indicated, those are some of the tips I was giving people ahead of time anyway, before all this kind of kicked off. But definitely that nonstop flight. I always try to get my clients on nonstop flights when I possibly can, when I'm making their reservations for that particular reason, so that there's not a possibility of having an occurrence to occur because something happened with them being late. They missed their layover flight they have to connect to, et cetera. I think, I've always told people to find a way to turn the extra into something special. So when somebody has a long layover somewhere, turn it into another vacation. If you've got 4 or 5 hours, can you go out and see something you've never seen, whether it's just one little stop or whatever? Get out and use that. So, I let people be aware that when it comes to those layovers as well, and I'm sure we all do this, is that, that 30-minute, 1 hour is not going to work. You definitely got to have the long layovers, the 3 hours, et cetera, especially with lines and the way things are happening today. But even from the standpoint of going, my impact that I've had of late is people coming home. I giggle a little bit, even though it's not real funny. Phoenix Sagan, who is one of our agents, I know when we got together going somewhere in one of our last trips, going to Dubai, her luggage was lost going to Dubai. And she had a couple days that she didn't have any clothes. She had to go buy stuff, etc. Well, interesting enough, she just spent some time in Greece and I think and Italy. And again, her luggage was lost. And so she had this big shopping spree to take place. And I had a client that just came back from Paris, her and her 3 children, and their luggage has been lost. And their biggest thing is one of the comments I have made to them is at least it's lost on the side of home for them. But the only kind of caveat there is, and something I have definitely made note to tell my clients, be aware of what you're packing in that check-on bag. Because in this client's case, they made a nice purchase for like a major event that they've got coming up soon. They put it in the suitcase and checked it. Well, now the suitcase lost. Excuse me. And so now it's lost and they're like panicking because now they're like, okay, do I need to go out and buy something else now? Because that may not make it here in time. So definitely a piece of advice to give to the clients is to remind them, be aware of what you're packing in your suitcase that you are checking. If it's something that is very important to you, kind of like we say with medicines, put it in your carry-on and take it with you on the carry-on from that particular standpoint. Even when
along those lines, get those air tags or get that tile, throw it in your suitcase. At least you'll have an idea of where it's at. I've started doing that. Well, it's great to have you both on and have this little mini reunion, even if it's just online. Now, you real quick, are you going to ASTA Global Convention in August?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you there.
Yes.
It's on my to-do list. I haven't decided yet. It's always during my birthday. So it's always so hard. It's during my birthday almost all the time.
Come on, Wanda, we'll have fun.
That sounds good. Who knows? I might
have a special discount. If you register now, there's still a special discount. It ends at I think July 2nd or something. So get that discount, register, and hope anyone else who's out there will join us as well and register before that discount ends.
Sounds good.
It's great to see you all. I'm sure I'll see you all again soon.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Next up, we're going to have a discussion about Las Vegas. So we have Joel Peterson. He is the Leasure Sales Executive with the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. And he is accompanied by Dustin Personius, who is he's the Leasure Sales Manager for properties including Circa Resort, the D, Las Vegas, and the Golden Gate. So I'm excited to talk with them now about Las Vegas. Hey guys, how you doing?
Great. Doing great.
So I've got my parents are going to Las Vegas this weekend. No joke. So Joel, I want to start with you. What's new with Las Vegas? What should they expect? 4th of July weekend.
Wow. I wish I had more time to prepare. We just got an email with all the artists and headliners that are in town this weekend. But thanks for having both Dustin and I on today, Matt. The word new in Las Vegas, I tell you, it changes pretty much, or we use that every week. We've really come such a long way. And with this pandemic, the domestic market for us has really thrived. I think a lot of people kind of fell in love with coming back to Las Vegas. It may have been more than a couple of years. And, we've evolved so much differently beyond just the gaming side of ourselves as a destination. Yes, you're going to find casinos everywhere, and that's fine. But we've really come a long way on the entertainment side. So I mentioned headliner residencies. We are signing more and more headliners throughout the destination. We have many theaters that we've been opening. Obviously, you have the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, and you have Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood. We opened a new hotel last year called Resorts World. They opened a 5,000-seat theater. So artists like Carrie Underwood, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan all perform at Resorts World. We've got Usher. We've got Lady Gaga. We've got Bruno Mars with his band called Silk Sonic. Miranda Lambert, new country music artist residency that's announced. So we've got all genres of music. Rod Stewart is doing a residency. Barry Manilow is doing a residency. So you've got your old, I'd say your staples, not going to say old, but some of your Vegas staples, and then obviously some of the newer artists. You can find so many artists, every other night. And that's the beauty of Vegas is they used to, these artists used to come maybe 1 week in a year, and now we're signing them for, 15, 20, or 30 dates during the year. So we're really, really excited the entertainment side. Other new things, we've got obviously a sports side of our city now. We've got the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team that obviously will start in the fall. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders NFL team that will start in the fall at the brand new Allegiant Stadium, which is just off the Strip, 65,000 seat glass dome stadium. And yes, we're hosting the Super Bowl in 2024. Book your tickets now. I know they're not for sale, but it's just like a natural thing you got to say, right? So what a great place to be for the Super Bowl. We also are going to be bringing the Formula One race to Las Vegas next year in November. Huge global sport. Yes, the track is going to run up and down Las Vegas Boulevard and outside of Las Vegas Boulevard. So know that from a sports side, we've got the rodeo coming December. We've got NASCAR coming in October. We really have great sports appeal that we like to promote ourselves as the greatest sports arena on earth. So we're really, really excited. And there's some new attractions off the Strip. We opened up Area 15 last year, which is a really cool immersive art experience that has different tenants all under the same building. There's a distillery tour that you can experience. There's a Mega Mart, which is kind of an adult fun house maze of a grocery store that you can find all these different art immersive experiences. So it's really, it's a great couple hours to spend just a couple minutes off the Strip. And we also open Flyover Las Vegas, which is a 4D virtual simulator experience that's located right next to MGM Grand on the Strip. So we have come so far to know we can offer so much more to our visitors and to your clients who are watching. That doesn't even touch the gaming side of the destination. So we also have, Matt, some new hotels in Las Vegas. Here's our wonderful segue we're making. So we've opened some new hotels, but we wanted to change up our session with you today a little bit to have a live and in-person guest from Las Vegas that is right there at the new Circa Resort in downtown Las Vegas. And a quick segue, if that's all right with you, Matt, over to Dustin with the property.
Welcome, Dustin.
Well, thank you.
So tell me, what's Circa all about? What should travel advisors know about this property?
Well, I think I'm sort of at a point now where I should put Joel on the payroll. He does such a good job promoting the property and promoting the destination as a whole. But what makes this property really special is, I got you, buddy. What makes this property really special is a couple things, but namely, we are located downtown. We're located on Fremont Street Experience, and we are the first newly built property, basically from the ground up, new construction, that Fremont Street has seen in about 40 years. So we opened up at the end of 2020. So not the best time by any stretch of the imagination to open a property, but it was an amazing experience being part of this project and being able to just continue promoting downtown throughout the pandemic. And we saw this new upmarket, adults only, 21 plus property, just essentially thrive since we've been open. And I'm going to flip the camera here in a moment. And I'm sorry if the video gets a little choppy, but I'm joining you actually today from one of the really cool venues inside the property called Legacy Club. We're up on the 60th floor of the property. You can see, bear with me here. The view from up here is just absolutely incredible. Wow. And it only gets better as the day goes on. We have, Vegas is known for its amazing sunsets, its amazing sunrises. Most of the venues that Joel pointed out in his intro are actually visible right from up here. So you just kind of have to imagine what it would be like to just watch the city come to life every night. Watch the lights come, the sun goes down, the lights come up, and really get to see the whole city from a completely new vantage point.
It looks like it's pretty centrally located because I see the Stratosphere, which is very on the end of the Strip, right? Yeah. So it looks like you guys are right there.
We're just about a mile, maybe give or take, just about a mile from the Stratosphere. From a point of reference for people who are a little bit more familiar with the downtown area, you see the top of the Fremont Street Experience canopy. That's the Golden Nugget right ahead of us, looking over east toward our sister property, the D, and then down towards Fremont East. And of course, the plaza just off to the west a little bit. Very, very centrally located in terms of certainly downtown, but very easy to access from the strip as well. I'm going to try to peek over the edge just a little bit here and give you a sort of a preview. I guess I'm not going to get there, but Stadium Swim is our pool complex. And the reason I point that out is what makes this property kind of interesting is that we're not here necessarily just to offer our amenities to hotel guests. We of course want our hotel guests to enjoy Stadium Swim, which is our great pool complex. We want our guests to enjoy Legacy Club, and our sports book, which is state of the art. We got to be the largest in the world. If you haven't seen it, or if you have any clients, for example, that are sports bettors, I mean, they're going to totally geek out over this venue. But it's not really just built for hotel guests as a hotel guest amenity. It's really meant to be enjoyed as an attraction for anybody visiting the city. So we want people who are a little bit more comfortable staying on the strip. Maybe they have that loyalty to the MGM Resorts family. Maybe they have that loyalty to the Caesars Entertainment. We want them to continue to enjoy those products and properties, but come down and Circa gives folks a reason after 40 years to come down and really enjoy what downtown has to offer, whether it be that free concert series out on Fremont Street, whether it just be the ease of access from one property to the other, because that Fremont Street Experience Promenade makes that so makes all the other properties so accessible, or to enjoy our venues. Our pool complex is open to the public. There is an admission fee if you're not staying with us, but it's year round. So again, you have that client that wants to stay down on the strip, but maybe they're here during that time of year where pools are closed. Well, come on down to Stadium Swim. We got you covered there. Legacy Club, of course, open year round as well. You can take in that sunset view. Really just a special property overall.
Awesome. It sounds amazing. So, Joel, I want to bring it back to you for a minute and ask what are some ways that agents can sort of, increase their commission when booking travel to Las Vegas for their clients?
You bet. Great question. So we work very closely with a lot of the wholesaler partners that KHM is aligned with. Apple Leisure Group, American Airlines Vacations, Delta Vacations. So of course, we're always doing many things with them, campaigns to support them, obviously with the commission from that side. However, when you think Las Vegas, we're very opposite of the all-inclusive market. People want to spend their money while in destination. Whereas all-inclusive, they spend it all up in front and they don't want to necessarily go to their purse or wallet during the week. That's where you can capitalize and kind of monetize on those opportunities. I want to highlight one of our great ticket brokers actually based in Las Vegas called LasVegasTickets.com. They are the only ticket broker out there that pays travel advisors 10% commission on all the major sporting events that are coming into the destination, as well as all the headliner residencies that are in the destination. They're not Ticketmaster. They're not StubHub. They're not Vivid Seats. They literally are a legitimate ticket broker locally based in Las Vegas. But clients are going to go to shows. They're going to do maybe a foodie tour. Maybe they're going to do some of these other things. Las Vegas Tickets is really a great option, and I can certainly send whatever details or make that available on the portal as well. It's a very easy website affiliate site to get signed up. You submit your W-9, they get you set up with the user ID and password. You may have closet Adele fans if she comes back to Las Vegas that will spend $1,000 for front row orchestra. I hate to pick on Adele, but boy, she was going to be great for the city, but she's going to come back. You never know. People, when they go to Vegas, they're sports fans. Budgets become a little bit more elastic. And it's an opportunity to take advantage of that when you look at the teams that are coming to play the Raiders this year or the teams coming to play the Golden Knights. So I'll definitely get that available on the portal so everyone can, all the advisors can check that out. So also, we've got great foodie tour options, and those are available in VAX. So if you're booking with the Apple Leisure Group brands, you will see a ton of content that's on our Las Vegas page in the VAX booking portal. All the ALG brands offer Circa Resort, so you're going to find them on Southwest Vacations and FunJet and United Vacations, as well as other wholesalers that Dustin works with. So, but there are options to capitalize on ancillary revenue through ticket brokers, through foodie tours. And Vax is one of those booking portals that you as travel advisors can utilize.
Awesome. Can you talk a little bit more about the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority portal and what they might find in there? And then I know there's like a point system or something in there, right, where you can earn rewards.
Yes. So we have a website, which we call our Learn and Earn Travel Advisor Rewards Program. It's simply a program designed for you to be able to register bookings you're making either directly with the hotel or through a wholesaler partner. You earn points for every room night registered. You can then use and redeem those points to receive free hotel nights in Las Vegas from a number of hotel suppliers, or free show tickets or free tours. We're huge believers, and if you can see it, you can sell it that much better, which is why we created this whole rewards program. We can't give you the airfare. Sorry, I know we've got that's its own topic, which you already discussed earlier, of course. But you can register bookings as far back as 2 years as well. So if you're just maybe checking this out, watching, and say, hey, I had a group that went last October, you can still go to the website and still register that booking. And the website is trackmylasvegasbookings.com. So original, I know, but it is trackmylasvegasbookings.com that you can start registering the bookings. You'll see tons of other sales resources, content, training courses, e-brochures. So that's also on the website. So it's really twofold to be able to register the bookings, but also to get a great amount of sales resources to help you with your clients.
Awesome. I love that you can go back 2 years.
Yeah.
And enter in those bookings. So, okay, Vegas, you got casinos, you got incredible resorts, you have shows, you have sports, amazing shopping, great food. What doesn't Vegas have? I love the foodie tours you mentioned. I've done the lip smacking foodie tour, and it is commissionable for agents as well. It's a great experience. They do a few different ones you get to choose from. I did the one on the Strip. It was amazing. So any final comments from you, Dustin and Joel?
Dustin, go ahead. I just can't say enough of how great KHM Travel has been for our tourist board and our organization. I'm based here in the Midwest in the Chicago area. I know that's the biggest scam in the industry, so let's all keep that on the down low. But anyways, I'm a Midwest guy, and I've been so fortunate to meet so many of you throughout the Midwest. And I am going to be attending the Destination Success event next month in Ohio. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully many of you that might be attending that. But we appreciate your support, and Dustin will agree with this. Domestic leisure is what saved Las Vegas during this pandemic. We had no international, no convention, nothing. And it has always been a vital channel for our city, but even more so, thank you so much for the clients that you've been sending to us during this pandemic. We could not have survived during this, and we're doing everything we can to reciprocate that support back to you now as business is starting to recover. Dustin, I don't know if you have any final comments as well.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Joel. I mean, it was definitely leisure that got through this. We're probably facing a couple of headwinds as everything from supply chain and fuel and airfare sort of correct themselves. But anything that we can do, we want to work with you the way that it makes most sense for you. So if there's any information I can provide, if there's any questions I can answer, I'm always happy to do that. And I would just encourage you to, as clients are coming back to Vegas, just have them come down and visit us. I mean, I'm happy to meet them, buy them a drink, and just kind of get them started on their downtown journey. And if we can win a stay from them down the line, we're happy to do that as well.
Awesome. Yeah,
So Matt, I think I heard something we have now in Las Vegas is all-inclusive. Look at Dustin offering free all-inclusive drinks. Got to be careful on that, though. Got to be careful on that. So.
I said buy a drink. We'll
Sorry to interrupt you, Matt.
I'm sure we have a lot of agents heading to Vegas. They've got clients sending them there. They may or may not be staying at Circa. Either way, recommend that they stop by this property, check it out, see what it's all about while they're there.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. It's been great to have you on, and now I have some extra tips I can tell my parents as they head out to Vegas this weekend.
By all means.
Great. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Let's hopefully see you in Vegas soon.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely. See you soon. All right. Our next segment, we wanted to highlight a few suppliers that you may not have heard of that cater to the LGBTQ plus community. In fact, we created a video, Bill and I, a tips video on planning trips for the LGBTQ plus community. There's a lot of great tips in there. Speaking with Wanda, she even mentioned that those tips kind of apply to really any minority group. So take a look at that video. We're going to link it in the description here. But first I wanted to call out a few. One of them is it's Atlantis Events. They mostly focus on cruises for gay men. It's a lively environment. They have some of the top DJs. They have great performances on there. I just took 100 guests on board one of their ships this past February. It was probably the biggest commission check or any paycheck I'd ever earned through it. It's a very lucrative avenue. So look at that for your clients who are gay. It's mostly men, I'll tell you that, and who are interested in going out, meeting other people, socializing, and just having a great time on a ship. They do at least once a year a land resort as well. So check out that. That's Atlantis Events. Another one is Brand G Vacations. Now, they tend to be smaller groups. They do river cruising. They charter the ships. It's just LGBTQ plus folks in the community, and allies, of course, are always welcome. But it's not so much of that party scene. It's going to be more exploring, getting off the ship, and going on interesting activities. And then also, I do want to mention another one that's focused specifically towards the lesbian population. They do cruises, they do resorts. It's an higher end experience. It's called Olivia. They are, if you are a KHM agent, they are in the supplier directory. In fact, I think all of these are in the supplier directory in the agent portal. So look them up. That's Atlantis Events, Brand G Vacations, and Olivia. They might be a great resource for you if you have LGBTQ plus clients who are looking to travel with a cohort from their community. Next up, always a favorite segment amongst our viewers. This is Ashley Newton is going to join us for our KHM at Home segment. And I'm excited to see what she's got prepared for us on how we can better celebrate the 4th of July this coming weekend. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Matt. I'm super excited to be back on KHM today. I always have such a blast whenever you guys invite me to be on. I do have to have a little confession. I'm not a huge 4th of July person. If you've been watching the show for a while, you know that like around Halloween, you will see me on a lot because that is like my favorite time of year. But I also never shy away from a challenge, and I love theming anything that I possibly can. So I volunteered to make a pasta salad that would hopefully be fun to bring to any cookouts or, you know, any family events you have going on for the 4th of July. To our podcast listeners, if you are listening with us, thank you for listening. But I'm going to try my best to be descriptive, but I would recommend maybe finding us on YouTube and watching this little segment and the Vegas segment too, because that was a really cool shot. But today, as you can see, we're going to do a summer pasta salad. And for this, obviously you have to start with pasta, right? So the first ingredient that we have is a bow tie pasta, cooked al dente. For me, that was about 11 minutes because I did bow tie. And to make it extra fun and challenging for myself, I decided to try to dye pasta. I've never done this before in my life, so if it turned out horrible, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. This is a new recipe. This is a new thing I've done, so welcome to the adventure. So I divided it into thirds. We have the original, which is blending in with the bowl here. This is our yellow pasta. And then we did a blue, which is so vibrant. You can really see that against the red. Just like, I was really impressed, honestly, with how that part turned out. And then the red as well, you know, red, white, and blue. And my baking bowls are red, and you can see you can barely distinguish the color. It is so vibrant and so red. So in order to do that, you know, you bake it. Don't rinse it. I know we always want to rinse our pasta to get that starch off, but in my experience, if you're doing a pasta salad, it actually adheres better if you don't rinse off that starch. So once you divide it up, I tried to measure it and use the scale, and towards the end, I was just sort of winging it, to be honest with you. But once you have it divided and you know the colors you want, you just get a Ziploc bag just like this. So if I was gonna color this one, I would just pour it right on in. And then you add 2 tablespoons of water and then like a bunch of food dye. I think it said like 20 drops online. And I added a little here or there until it looks saturated enough. Mix it around gently. You don't want to break up the pasta too much. And then set it in the fridge for 5-10 minutes is really all it should take. And then, I was taking them out, and then I did a blue one too, obviously. So same process, just repeated that. And then once they were done and I was looking at them, I was really happy with the color and the vibrance, but I was worried about the color sort of mixing. So I laid them in a single layer on top of like a cutting board, just like this, put some paper towels down, and then just sort of dab them dry. They might still bleed together, but we're going to figure that out together. So now I'm going to take all of my individual pasta colors. Again, we have the original undyed pasta. And I swear I washed my hands. And then we are going to add our red pasta. See if I can sort of turn it towards you guys a little bit. And then we are going to add our blue pasta right on top. See, like, look at that color. That is crazy. It's like Smurf blue. It's so intense, which, I'm all for it. Ooh, it already looks kind of cool in here. Okay, so then when it comes to, your salad dressing, your pasta salad dressing, you can really take it a lot of ways. Italian is sort of what I always grew up with. So you can literally just grab your favorite dressing off the shelf and go from there, mix it up at home, whatever your vibe. But I get a little sick of that because we eat so much pasta salad in the summers. My boyfriend's favorite thing in the world. So I was like, I'm just gonna mix together something new. So I made my own vinaigrette with these ingredients here. So it's about a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, about a 1/4 cup of a white wine vinegar, and then 2 tablespoons of this balsamic vinegar as well. Sorry, I'm trying to get my best to let you guys see it. And then about a tablespoon of stone ground mustard. I was basing this loosely off something I found online, and they said to use like a Dijon or spicy, and I didn't have either one of those. So I looked up the difference, and it's not crazy different. So I just used the stone ground. But to make sure it really had that punch, I added about a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seasoning in the dry ground. Same amount of a garlic powder, which was really holding back for me. Garlic powder is like my favorite seasoning, so I was really trying to, make it not super garlicky. I'm sure if you have fresh garlic, you can always use that, and that's always a little better. And then onion powder, I actually doubled this, so this was about a 1/2 of a tablespoon because I was tasting it as I go. One of my biggest cooking, and I'm not chef, but one of my biggest tips is, smell the food as you go, taste it as you go. That way you won't be too surprised at the end if you're not liking how it's coming together. So I ended up adding a little bit more of this than I planned. And then fresh ground pepper, same amount of that, but if you like it a little spicier, that's all you. And then a little bit of sea salt as well. I'm sure regular table salt would be fine too. So then we combine all of those ingredients into our vinaigrette here. And then just whisk them together, which I already did, but I'm just going to make sure that it didn't solidify or separate or do anything too weird. So I'm going to mix that pretty thoroughly. Smells good. Hopefully it'll taste good. And then we're just going to pour that right over our noodles, which we haven't really mixed together right now. They're kind of layered. And then you just pour that all on top. Okay. Now from here, I should have brought a napkin over. I have a towel. We are going to just take a spoon and gently mix it. Oh, it's mixing together pretty well. I wasn't sure because I cooked it earlier today, but it's mixing really well. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to try to show you guys. It's still going to be in this red bowl, so the red might disappear a little bit. But, man, that smells pretty good. You can see how colorful this pasta is. You can see the reds and the whites and the blues all really standing out. So that's awesome. Now, again, for your toppings, you can go in any direction that you like. I was also just sort of, what's in my house? What can I clean out of my fridge? So first, I don't even know what's in here. I do have to shout out these little covers. We love travel. We love to see the world. Part of that is keeping it clean. So I try to use as little press and seal and cling wrap and stuff like that as I can. And these little guys are awesome. They just go right on. So this is just a 1/2 cup of chopped sweet onion. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right in my mixing bowl. And then these are a different sustainable cooking cover, and these are beeswax like paper sheets, and you could just wash these, and they're awesome. And in here, let's see. Ooh, okay. In here, I have a half cup of sun-dried tomato. You could use baby tomatoes or, you know, like little tomatoes, whatever your vibe. I just honestly don't like those. I like them in like salsa, and I like tomatoes in pasta sauce, but otherwise it's like a texture thing. I'm not into it. And then my last topping is a variety of sweet peppers. So this, again, because I happen to have it on hand, goes a little bit off of our red, white, and blue theme. We've got some orange and then some really pretty like burgundy, but a little color never hurt anybody. So I'm going to mix that in there as well. And then we also have a little bit of cheese. And this is a extra sharp cheddar white to go with our theme. I would have maybe done like a Parmesan or something, but once again, this is literally what I had on hand. Mozzarella is also really popular in pasta salads, so you know, go with your gut. Once you have all those, you want to mix it pretty thoroughly so that you have a nice distribution throughout your salad. And then I also have in here, this looks really pretty. Not wait to show you guys a full reveal. And if you have a favorite pasta salad recipe, like I said, this is like one of my favorite things to cook in the summer. So, you know, feel free to share that with us in the comments on YouTube. And if you try this one, let me know. But don't try it till I tell you if it's any good, because honestly, I have no idea how this is going to taste. And then I have some chopped fresh basil here as well that I'm just going to gently sprinkle in after I let the first ingredients mix even further. And that was about 1/3 of a cup. All right. Mixing it, mixing it, mixing it. Referencing my little cheat sheet, see if I forgot anything. Obviously, pasta salad is traditionally served cold, so make sure you allow time for it to chill. All right. Now, for serving, I just have this casserole dish. I went with my red one because I just think it's pretty and kind of on theme. And then I'm just going to pour it in. Maybe with my pour here, I can sort of show it off a little. Nope, you can't see anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour that in there. Oh wow, this looks really pretty. I wasn't sure, you know, I'm not a huge fan of artificial colored things, especially when the flavors don't come through. It's kind of like, why is this pasta blue? Is it blueberry pasta? But I like this. I think that it, you know, it's pretty clear what it's trying to do. I don't really expect it to taste like blueberries or anything like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try my hardest to tip this and have it not go all over the floor, but like, look at how pretty that is. You have all those different shades, and I know you can't smell it, but it smells very, very fragrant. And then for our last sort of step, I took some of that cheese that we put in when already were actually scraps from our little cheese stars. And these are so cute. So to make these little stars, I just had like little snacking cheese. It was like, I picked it up at Aldi, and it was like made for cracker size. And then I found in a never-ending supply in the attic a tiny little cookie cutter in the shape of a star. Actually, I would have preferred something like a little bit smaller, but like I said, we were getting creative and using what we had on hand. So now I'm just going to layer those on top of the pasta. Oh, this is so cute. And I love cheese, so there's going to be a few extra, I think, that aren't really going to make it onto the plating, but we'll do them. The other good thing about pasta salad is if, you know, you have dietary restraints or you're vegan or anything like that, it's so customizable and you can really take it in any direction. So I'm going to try one more time to flip it so you can see it with the stars on top. So gentle. It's so cute.
Wow.
So this is an attempt, but the real test is going to be, does it taste any good? Well, I'm just gonna, I don't know, we'll do it live, right? Let's see. I'm really not mad at it.
I have to say, when I introduced you, I had no idea if you're going to make a drink, a dessert, what, but for a savory dish, that you can't get more festive than this. This is so festive. Where did you get the colored pasta? Don't tell me you made that.
I did not make the pasta. I bought elbow pasta, but then You just get the food dye, about 2 tablespoons of water, and these Ziploc bags. And I'm not even kidding, it probably took 10 minutes. I'm very slow in the kitchen and I'm very messy. So for anybody else to put this together, I would guess maybe an hour, hour and a half in total of your time.
Okay. So you can find this sort of rainbow pasta at the stores. I haven't seen it before, but probably because this week, if you go, there's going to be the special blue and red.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you can find anything online nowadays too. But if you can't, the dyeing actually at home worked really well. And as I was doing it with the little bow tie shape, see if I can find a good one that's like nice and whole. I thought, how cute would this be in black for Halloween, like little bats?
Yeah, you're already trying to pull Halloween, and we got 3 more months. Ashley, can you wait?
No, I can't. I'm already pressuring my boyfriend to pick costumes so I can start planning. But if you try it, let me know. We'll go ahead and put the full ingredient list in the video description on YouTube, probably on the podcast as well. But it is a little tangy, so, just adjust your vinegar levels if that's something that you're not a fan of. If you prefer more of a sweet or subtle, it's supposed to be fun anytime you cook, right?
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We always love when you come on for KHM Today.
Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to come back.
See you soon. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I want to thank our sponsors for continuing to support KHM Today, especially our overall sponsor, ALG Vacations. Special shout out to Monique, one of our viewers who guessed it. Carolyn is at Disney Wish Inaugural, and I'm sure she's going to be really excited to share her experience with us when she returns next week. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Have a lot of fun and be safe.